It's interesting. We got a question recently about texting. And it's kind of funny because this question happens to fall right into a project that I'm working on right now. I'm writing a book called The Little Black Book of Texting. It's a handbook for men. And it's to help them walk through the various stages and conversations that we run into. Everything from starting at the mobile dating apps or social media, where you might want to reach out and talk to somebody, on through how you craft messages, when do you take pictures or not, all the way down to the bottom where the last conversation, it looks like it might be called hang up. When do you stop having the conversation? When do you cut your losses? When do you let it go? When that book is out, I'll be sure to promote it. Would love you guys to check it out. The question we're looking at today, though, specifically has to do with what do you do in a conversation that can actually just kill the attraction? And what I've found is that a lot of men are trying to do too much in texting. We think that it is all happening over text. It's not. Texting has a very real, a very permanent role in dating these days, but texting is not where dating happens. Texting is part of where we communicate. It's part of where we stay in touch. And I think the problem is a lot of guys try to make the full connection with a woman over text. You can't do that. If you and a woman are totally hitting it off, you both have the hots for each other, yeah, both of you are just contributing and that's going great. That's not the majority of the time. The majority of the time, texting is simply a form of communication that we're using along the way to get to know somebody better and either date more and more or realize that we're not a good match. So when you are texting, don't try to create too much connection. Don't try to create an emotional experience back and forth that is overt, that is complete. What you want to do when you're texting is to give her a little emotional experience, not a lot, and not a big back and forth exchange. We're not looking at 2 hours of constantly going back in conversation with each other over text in an evening. If that happens organically, wonderful, have fun with it. But don't try to do that. Let that happen, but don't try to make that happen. The texting should be very much, not out of the blue, but it should be very much just giving someone a small little window into what's going on in your day. It's like a little, hey, was thinking about you. Here's something that I'm doing. Here's a little bit of something interesting to think about. Or obviously we use it for communication. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. Sorry about that. That's fine for that. And it's okay to do a little bit of flirting over text as well. No problem whatsoever with that. You can express your desire. You can demonstrate that. If you met somebody in public, on the street, in the supermarket, something like that, and you got her number, you do want to show your intention to carry that forward. You can express all of that in text, but the whole point is to keep it very simple, very minimal, and to not try to build a back and forth connection. Doing that over text is going to weigh her down and it's going to weigh yourself down. I think as a lot of guys, we think that we're supposed to be somehow entertaining this woman. We're supposed to be creating this magical experience all over text. Come on, that's not going to happen. You need to be in person in order for that to happen. There's no physical touch. It's a huge amount of the chemistry. You need to be in person for that. Eye contact is a huge amount of what our connection is with somebody. Timing, humor is a huge part of it. You don't have that in text message. I write the text, I send it, I wait. The person writes it, sends it back to me, they wait. We have no sense of tempo and timing together. We're also very distracted while we're texting back and forth. We need to, when we're in person, we have each other's, hopefully, more or less undivided attention. That's where the connection happens. There's all kinds of body language that comes across that doesn't come across over text. And we all know that there is no tone over text. Tone can be so incredibly important for communication or tragically miscommunication. Somebody was being sarcastic, we took him seriously, and suddenly we are not liking each other anymore. Play it safe and don't try to do too much over text. Don't try to over-connect over text. Maintain the engagement. Progress things forward to whatever your next date is going to be, whatever your next encounter is going to be. Go ahead and recall back to some past experiences that you've had together. That's all fine, but do it with very, very loose hold on it. Do not try to create the communication over text. Do not try to create the connection over text. The connection happens in person. The connection happens maybe even over the phone with a phone call. The connection does not happen over these tiny little thumb keyboards that we're playing with and sending and waiting and bubbles that the person's coming back. Come on, you are way overthinking this, dude. If you have real substance and confidence in yourself, and particularly if you're a guy that is doing things with your life, how much energy, how much focus should you be putting into little tiny text messages with your thumbs? Very little. Very, very little. She's going to kind of also sense that. If you're a guy that is so leaning into the text messages and trying to create the connection, she's like, this guy must not have a whole lot else going on in his life. If you do have a lot else going on in your life, the text messages are going to be part of communication. They're going to be part of light flirting. They're going to be part of continuing to move the ball down the field for your next encounter with her. But if you've really got substance and you're really doing things in your life, you don't have time to try to connect with her over text. You will connect with her when it's time to see her in person and connect with her in person. Anyways, those are some of the ideas that are coming out in the new book, The Little Black Book of Texting. I hope you guys check it out when it comes on out. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw it in. Now's the time to put it in the comments so I can address it in the book. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.